Hi guys, and welcome to another instalment of 12 Days of Clueless. Shock horror, it's not a real ale, and shock horror, it's not from the UK today. Today we're going over to Denmark, to the absolutely wonderful Mikkeller brewery, who, of course, I've known them for absolutely ages, but up until this year, I'd never really had access to any of their beers, and thanks to the beer mail service that they do, where you get 8 beers each month, there is another one called the Mikkeller Beer Club, which is a little bit more expensive with much more exclusive items. I thought I'd give it a crack in August, and I got a box with 8 fantastic beers, and I got another box this December which has a few Christmas beers in it, which you will be seeing in this series probably. And yeah, if you're interested, then I'm going to put my referral link down below so you can check it out for yourself. You get 25% off your first box, and then the great thing is you get a referral link and you could get 50% off a box when somebody uses a referral link, which is why I got the December box. So, you know, give and receive, I suppose. So I got 8 fantastic sounding beers for like half the price, but this isn't a paid promotion, even though I would happily have a paid promotion from a brewery like Mikkeller, don't get me wrong. But yeah, fantastic service, gets you quick, ships to most of Europe. I am saying all this right, aren't I? Yeah, okay. Jokes. But no, seriously, fantastic service. Check them out for yourself. You don't have to. I don't think most people read the descriptions in my videos, but I like to put a wealth of information there. But anyway, let me just do a very awkward light change. Today's beer is the Mikkeller Xmas Wish, which is a gluten-free holiday IPA, and this is a holiday version of the I Wish gluten-free IPA, or I Wish for gluten-free. I'm not too sure. All the correct information will be on like the Untapped links and that sort of thing, so you can do your own research, goddammit. But yeah, so a gluten-free festive IPA. Really intrigued by that. Not too sure what makes this beer festive. I don't know what they've put in it that they wouldn't put in the regular version, and yeah, so very intrigued, and fantastic artwork once again from the artist whose name I always seem to forget, even though I am such a massive fan of his. I just love the work he does for Mikkeller. I just love the branding from Mikkeller, from the artwork on labels to the designs that they've got in there. Mikkeller bars. I'd love for a Mikkeller bar here in the UK. Come to Manchester. Very intrigued, to cut a long story short. So let me just adjust the lighting again. Much more nice and moody. And speaking of moody, look at that. My array of candles and an LED Christmas tree hooked up to my power bank, which you can clearly see. It's all no expenses spared when it comes to a Clueless Drinker video, as I think I've already made that joke in this series already, but oh well. So yeah, it's an IPA, clocking in at 5.5%. Best before date is 5th of the 3rd, 2019. I personally wouldn't leave an IPA for that long, to be honest. But yeah, that's quite a shelf life for an IPA, especially if this ABV. And yeah, very festive looking. So without any further ado, let's get this opened and see what we get. Nice amount of smoke. Yeah. A delayed smoke, and because I'm feeling a tad bit more hipsterish than I usually am, I'm going to be using a wine glass. And I'll tell you why, because every time I've seen a Mikkeller related video that they've produced, there's always someone drinking a beer in a wine glass. So, beer in a glass then. And that is a little bit hazy. It looked obviously hazier there because I was right up close to it in a low lighting, but when you hold it up to the light, that's got like a lovely, like almost ruby red look to it, but it has got those amber hues. It gets a little bit golden towards the bottom on this glass anyway. Yeah, nice little bit of haze, not too hazy but not too clear. I'm not too sure if there are little bits or bobs that might be at the bottom of the glass or the bottle, but the beer itself didn't really pour with too much of a head at all. What is there? It's sort of like a slight beige colour, but yeah, it's got that sort of IPA, but it's a bit more ruby-ish than I was expecting, to be fair. So let's see what we got on the aroma. And I'm instantly hit with those hops in there. Like that orange, mandarin, a little bit of grapefruit. There's like these slight tropical tones, but it's not like a really fruit bowl tropical aroma. Maybe a hint of peach. It's got that slight caramelized onions and garlic sort of savoury sweetness to it. So very subtle, spicy tones, maybe a hint of nutmeg. Not too much though. But it's a lovely smell of beer. It's quite mellow but fragrant at the same time. What it lacks in bite and punch, it makes up in like fragrance, if that makes sense. God, I come out with shit most times, but when I'm holding a beer with a wine glass, a beer with a wine glass with a beer in it, I talk even more bullshit, don't I? Anyway, smells good. Let's give it a taste. Cheers. It's interesting. It's not what I was expecting. It starts off when you first swig it like a standard IPA, to be fair. You get a big hit of hop profile. You get a big hoppiness, but not enough to detect what hop it could be. Has that sort of like almost West Coast IPA flavour to it. But that subsides rather quickly. And then like, not just a hoppy bitterness, but like a slight spicy herbal bitterness comes through. And it does linger quite a lot on the back end. Is it festive though? I'm not getting too much in terms of a festive tone. There might be some like strong pininess, so maybe they've actually used pine in the brew. Because it's got that, not like that hoppy, resiny pine, but like actual like pine tree. Like Christmas tree. Like touch the real Christmas tree and you've got like the residue on your hands. You might accidentally taste it. That's why I always wash my hands after. I'm not even going to go there, but yeah, that's an odd one. It sort of lacks the body because of that gluten-free aspect. That's what I've found with gluten-free beers, and maybe that's also playing into the bitterness on the back end. I'm getting like spiciness. I'm getting like a subtle mulled wine character, but no like vanilla or sweet desserty tones. It is sort of, if it was festive, the closest thing I could think of was like dried orange peel and spices and the aromas of Christmas, like potpourri and the Christmas candles that you can buy. I mean, it's a really nice beer, but it's far from the best IPA I've ever had. And it's actually, aside from like some slight subtle hints, not really that festive either. At least I'm not picking up anything, but somebody else could drink this and they get like 10 completely different things that I picked up. That's the beauty of doing beer reviews. It's just how you can watch 10 videos of 10 different people drinking the same beer, and you might find like one common thread going through it. But there'll always be differences, and sometimes quite vast differences in opinion and flavour profiles of beers. Yeah, it's got that slight spiced mulled wine character to it, but without like the sweetness you sometimes get in it, if that makes sense. But as an IPA, it suffers from being a gluten-free IPA, I have to be honest, because it lacks a body, and it's not an off flavour, but it's a flavour that I cannot describe, yet I get it a lot when I've had gluten-free beers. So, if you are someone who has to go on a gluten-free diet and you wanted a good IPA, I'd say this is a fairly good IPA. It's not mind-blowing or anything like that. And when you pour it in the glass, I mean, that looks absolutely wonderful now, doesn't it, with that head? And yeah, it's like beige. When you do hold it, it goes a little bit more browner. Almost like a rye bock, Roggenbock, as they'd say in Germany. Even though why am I referencing in Germany? It just looks like a rye bock, but with still slight ruby tones. This has been an awful beer review, isn't it? Jesus Christ. When it's all in the glass, the beer kind of comes alive a bit more. The hops are a little bit more pronounced than last in terms of hoppy flavour. But yeah, it's got that sort of like, I've mentioned this before, but when you've had like granulated ginger or cinnamon and you get that sensation on your tongue afterwards, I'm getting that with this one. Maybe a hint of clove in there as well, but it's really not too festive. You could drink this any time of the year and you'd think it's just, oh, it's a gluten-free IPA. I don't see what is too seasonal with it. Maybe if I had the regular version and did a head-to-head, I'd be able to pick out a lot more. But as a Christmas beer, not really doing too much for me. As an IPA, it's a bit more bready now that it's all in there, but those hops do come out a bit more. It's just, body's a little bit too weak. But it's not watery or anything like that. I've had non-gluten-free IPAs that have been a lot thinner than this and a lot less satisfying in terms of mouthfeel. But yeah, if I was to give it a rating, if ratings in every review I do, my rating for the Mikkeller Xmas Wish gluten-free, I think I'm going to give that one a 7 out of 10. I would try it again, but I wouldn't rush and go out of my way to get another bottle anytime soon, if that makes sense. I'd say give it a go, and if you want just an interesting IPA, because it is interesting. It's not like most IPAs, I'll give it that. Then again, give it a go. But it's not been the greatest Mikkeller beer that I've had. But not bad. 7 out of 10, still a solid score, I'd say. So if you've tried this one and the original version, then let me know your thoughts, opinions down below. What's some of your favourite Mikkeller beers? Always love to hear suggestions. Check out my Mikkeller playlist. That's going to be something that's going to be growing over the next year, I hope. I wish there was something else that would be growing over the next year, but I hope that's going to happen. Check out my IPA playlist, check out my Mikkeller playlist, check out Mikkeller, check out the artist who does the artwork for Mikkeller, whose name escapes me. The next Mikkeller Christmas beer, I'll mention him, don't you worry about that. And yeah, check out the 12 Days of Clueless playlist for previous episodes and the next couple, because I think this is episode 10 now? I can't remember my own recorded schedule. I should just stop YouTube in the new year, shouldn't I? Just call it a day and save a lot of people a lot of time. Thank you guys for watching, and I shall hopefully see thee tomorrow. Fucking arsehole.